Hello and welcome to our browser test video. We are going to be testing a bunch of browsers in multiple areas. Those areas include basic privacy, like if you visit YouTube will it block the ads, then actual privacy, like how private they are, ad blocking, which is like going to there's this website which tests how well a browser can block ads. We're going to be doing that. Then resource usage as well, which we're going to use Process Explorer for to see how much resources each of these use. And then we're also going to be testing the built-in AIs to see how good each of them are. So to start off the privacy test of Brave, which is this is the default Brave, no like add-ons or anything. We've not even set it up yet, so you'll be able to see that there's the setup screen here. We're not going to be setting it as default browser, we're not going to import settings. We're going to turn off the these things, because we can. We're going to turn off the equivalents on everything else as well, don't worry about that, if they give us the option to in the setup. Comment down below on the video if you have a browser that I haven't tested, or if you have advice for redoing the test with other settings on the other browsers maybe. So basic ad blocking, or well, basic privacy I called it earlier. We're just going to go to YouTube, and we're going to see if we load up like any kind of video. Wait, how do I do this without getting copyright strikes? So I have figured out what I'm going to do on each browser to test, for the basic test, which YouTube video I'm going to do. So I had to choose one that was copyright free, but basically we're going to use this video. And we're just looking for ads, basically. So we don't have any banner ads at the top, we can already see. And we don't have any on the side, and on the video just starts playing. So far we've had no ads whatsoever. So that's the basic test done with Brave. I think how I'll do this is I'll do all the basic tests first, and then I'll move on to the other test. So right, moving on to Brave Nightly. Here's the second test of YouTube. Now this is basically just Brave. I did add some of my custom settings to this browser though, so it is a little bit different than Brave. As you can see, we have less banners at the bottom, and when we load up YouTube we're actually not going to be able to view it at all, because of I've made it not allow JavaScript by default, which is more secure when you're visiting like random sites, which may be reflected later, who knows, we'll see. But you can just otherwise enable it if it's a website you trust, like with YouTube. And yeah, again, we don't have any banner ads or anything, we don't have any ads on the video, and yeah, everything seems about the same. So that's our test of Brave Nightly. Right, now opening Google Chrome as the next browser we are going to be testing, or well, this is Chromite, or well, it should be Chromite. I'm not entirely sure which Chrome it is. It looks like it's the default Chrome. Let's skip the default browser. Yes, we are going to turn that on. Got it. Okay, right, so we're in. So, opening up YouTube. Okay, so it didn't automatically close the cookie thing. But do we get any ads? Oh, we do get ads. We even get banner ads. Okay, so Chrome does not pass that test, I'd say, because we've got a bunch of ads, even though we enabled the ad privacy, whatever it was by default. So yeah, that's the test of Chrome over, I guess, the YouTube test. Right, now moving on to Chromium for our basic test. So we're going to launch Chromium here. And we're going to attempt to navigate to YouTube. It took a bit longer to load up, but maybe that means it's going to be better. Who knows? Oh, this does not look promising. It didn't get rid of the cookie. Okay, so even Chromium doesn't have any ad blocking built in by default, it seems. At least not with regards to YouTube. Right, now moving on to Firefox, which we actually have two modes we're going to test. You can see the other one pinned at the bottom. I tried to make sure that I included everything, because some of them didn't have ways to open them like from the desktop, So as you can see, DuckDuckGo isn't on the desktop. We don't need to do any of that. Skip that. Start browsing. Oh, okay. So, okay, wait, they've just got YouTube. Wait, actually, we need to open a specific link, though. Hold on. Let's paste the link in. And I can already see that there's going to be an ad, because it's a Google AI Pro thing, which I do not remember there being. Okay, well, it seems like it blocks JavaScript or something, as well, which is, I guess, good. How do I enable it? Or is this not just meant to just work? Wait, we can kinda use the website as if this thing doesn't exist. Do we have to enable autoplay or something? Or how do we enable it? Do we have to wait. How do I allow JavaScript on a wait, let's just reload it, see if that fixes it. Maybe we just need to reload it. Oh, okay, wait, okay, so you have to scroll down and then click the thing. Okay. That's fine though. Okay, so now it's loaded. We do get ads. Okay, we get ads for literally everything. Okay. So, Firefox, the normal one, has failed the ad test, the basic ad test. So now with what is this, private browsing with Firefox or something, I think? Yeah, private browsing. So if we open up the same link, it already has it here for some reason, which is a bit odd, but okay. Not entirely sure what I think about that. Okay, the buttons work better, but do we get ads? Okay, we do get ads, sadly. Oh well, I guess that not all of them will block ads. Right, so now moving on to Microsoft Edge, quite a lot of people's daily browser that they use quite often and trust with everything. I don't know what settings they usually would enable, but I denied everything like I did on Brave, so I think it's fair to do that. Guess we could do the customization stuff. There we go. Right, so now if we paste in our YouTube link and go to it. Oh. Okay, well we didn't get ads for a moment there. But we do the second time. Okay, so it does not block ads. It seemed like it might have done, but it didn't then. So I think they did claim that they added an ad blocker, but I don't know where that would be, so I'm just going to count that as a fail. I mean, we're going off what's enabled by default, right? So by default that failed. Right, so now moving on to Opera. Actually, I do have to say, the setup of this was really nice. I liked the setup process, how nice that looked. But do we have an ad blocker? Okay, it looks like it's going to do the same thing as Edge, where it makes us think we have an ad blocker, but then doesn't have one. Or maybe it does have an ad blocker? We do have an ad blocker. Okay, so Opera comes with an ad blocker, it seems, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't see any kind of ads anywhere here, which is great. So that's cool. Opera passes the test. Right, now OperaGX, the gaming browser. Let's see if this has an ad blocker of some kind by doing the YouTube test. Oh. No, it does not have an ad blocker. It looked a bit like it might have done, but then it just played ads anyway. So, oddly, OperaGX gives you more ads than the normal one. Which is weird because... Okay, that really confuses me. I don't know whether it has or doesn't have an ad blocker. It seems like it doesn't because it gave us ads. Or well, for some portion of the thing it gave us ads, which means that in some way it would probably, like if the ads were malicious, they would probably have done something. So there's that. Anyway, moving on to LibreWolf, which I've actually never used before, so this will be interesting. I have no idea what to expect with this. Launching up. Okay. So it uses DuckDuckGo as its default search engine, which means it might be similar to what DuckDuckGo... Oh, it has a uBlock, which is one of most people's favourite extensions to block ads. Let's see if uBlock can do a good enough job then for us here. I did click accept all on all of them, well, except for on Brave and some of the others where that pop-up didn't even show up, which is probably actually better. Okay, is this going to play though? Oh, it does. Okay, the audio sounds good, the video is a bit stuttery, but the audio sounds good, and this is just a music video anyway. So, I'd say that's fine. I don't know what kind of performance. Performance is one of the later tests we're going to do, like resource usage. I think we will use YouTube for that. We'll go back to YouTube. But yeah, it seems to do about the same as some of the ones that passed. So I'd say that was a pass. Right now, just before we do Tor, I feel like we should do DuckDuckGo first, because I'm not really looking forward to Tor, because I've never used Tor and I have no idea what to expect. But we're gonna give DuckDuckGo a go. If it does something. I don't know whether does some of them run in the background? No, it doesn't look like anything's, unless they are running. Oh wait, did DuckDuckGo technically not install yet? So there is meant to be a desktop thingy. Okay, interesting. Anyway, setup, I guess. Okay. So it claims it blocks a bunch of, it claims it should block the ads, so I guess we'll see in a moment whether it does that. I do have to say this is a bit like OperaGX, that they give you, like, the interactive installation thing. We're not going to set up any of that stuff because I'm not entirely sure what it does, and I'm just going to go off what it has by default. So, so you do have to enable you have to enable Duck Player, but then it seems to work. Now I don't know how well, of course we can't actually see the YouTube UI when we do this. It seems it's running it in a different website. So I don't know whether it would. I think we'll count that. Oh wait, no, we get ads. I'd say that's a fail. I don't know. Do we count that as a fail? I'd say we count that as a fail, because unless you watch it in the Duck Player, which to be fair, for links your friends send you, you could do, and realistically anything you click on, you could just enable that, but it's not really the same because it's a completely different platform. So not. Yeah, and otherwise you get ads, so I'd count that as a fail. Right now, the one that I've been dreading, I have no idea how. Okay, so we have to open it from a folder, which is a little bit dodgy. I don't like that. It is also taking a while to launch. Okay, it's up. So, okay. I assume we just paste in the link and go, like any other browser. Or, I guess we have to click connect first. This could be incredibly bad. I have no idea what it's doing. So you have to connect to a special network to. Oh, now it loads. Okay. I know what's going on. Oh, we get the sign in to confirm you're not a bot thing. That is generally not promising. Wait, maybe it works. Okay, wait. I know what it's doing. We got YouTube in this like little window thing. But it seems like we can't watch YouTube. Although then again, I'd say it passes the ad test because there's no ads. I guess you just can't use it to watch YouTube unless we click the thing. No, okay, it still doesn't let you. Probably something to do with how Tor works. I honestly don't know because I don't use Tor. Anyway, so that's ad test. I guess it technically passes. Right, also what I thought I would do is I would check whether any of them are still running, and it looks like DuckDuckGo is still running in the background, which we did just close it, so it's a bit odd that it's doing that. Guess we'll end that. And have we got anything else running, or is it just DuckDuckGo? Can we look at network, or what? I don't even know how I would filter for it to find it. It should just be here though somewhere, if it is running. Okay, so it looks like DuckDuckGo is the only one that persists after you close it. Which... oh wait, no, Edge persists as well. Okay, so DuckDuckGo and Edge both persist once you close them, which I guess is something to think about. Doesn't really mean anything, they're probably not doing anything in the background, but just bear that in mind that if you close them, you're not actually closing them. They're still there. The others all didn't, like they all closed properly. Anyway, that's our basic ad blocking test done. So now we are going to move on to the actual ad blocking test. So we're going to start with Brave here, which is on YouTube at the moment. Hold on, let's close that. So to do this, we are going to go to a website called Can You Block It? Or at least I think it's called that. Yes, here we go. So this will test the full ad blocking capabilities of our system. We're going to do the extreme test, which is the most difficult one. Is this already the page? Oh, this is the page. Wait, is this the page? Oh, we have to click start testing now. Okay. Wait, okay, wait, this is the page. Okay, so this is the page. So it looks like we don't get any... okay, we get some. We get the ones that appear on the right. We get those. We did not get the notification though. We also did not get a page push ad. We did not receive... well, I don't really want to click that just in case it's malware. But we already did the video test earlier anyway. But we didn't get any... we only got like two ads out of the however many we would usually get on the extreme test. So this is the default Brave. So now moving on to Brave Nightly. I've decided just not to do any cuts at this point. So extreme test, the same thing, and we get... it looks slightly different, but it looks like it does about the same as Brave. I think, yeah, we got about the same stuff as Brave. I feel like this could be where the video might have to be completely blurred, because this would go horribly wrong. We're going to try Google Chrome now, which I assume... okay, well, we've got already agreed to have ourselves tracked. Okay. Brace yourselves, everyone. This is gonna be the worst thing you've ever seen. Get ready. Do not do this on your own devices, by the way. Here we go. We get all the banners, we get all the advertisements, we get literally everything. We get just so many ads. Probably a lot of cookies as well and trackers. To be fair, actually, it's not as many as I thought. I don't know whether we have any kind of ad blocking, but we seem to be getting less ads than I thought we would get. We get the banners, we get that one, we get oh, clicking anywhere on this page will trigger an ad in a new tab. Okay, well, it seems like you get quite a few ads, but you don't get all of them, which is good. So we get some kind of ad blocking. It might be because it's Chromite rather than Chrome, but we'll see. Now Chromium, the open source alternative. I've not got my hopes high for this. Oh, it's going to It didn't search for it, it's going to a website. Hello, can we not do that? Can we search? We might actually have to do a Google search for it. Okay, there we go. Right, Google. And then... here we go. Right. I'm a little bit worried about this one, because Chrome was fine, but I don't know about this one. Anyway, here we go. Oh, it took a little while to load. Okay, but it looks about the same as Chrome. I'm not going to click anywhere on the screen because it says there's a pop under ad, which may activate if I click on the thing. Anyway, that was Chromium. So now Firefox. Not now. Okay. Extreme test. Here we go. Oh, we get a feedback thing. That wasn't on the others. Oh, and there's like, okay, there's so many different ads. Yeah, I think either way this didn't pass. They're even updating and stuff. Yeah, no, that definitely didn't pass. I hope none of these open it back up when we open them again. Also, I might want to run a virus scan on the VM. Let's have a look at Edge now either way. Extreme test. Here we go. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, we can barely scroll. We can scroll though. Oh my gosh, it gets more ads. There's 5. Wait, is there 5? I think there's 5 this time on that area. It seems to do very badly either way on the ad blocking test. Let's do Opera, which did I think have an ad blocker last time we checked. So that's opened in the background. We don't want that. Sure. Right, let's have a look at can you block it on this. Okay, so we do get the feedback thing. Okay, it does about as well as Brave does, it seems. It seems to do about the same. So it seems about the same, at least in ad blocking as Brave, without the extensions or anything. Right, OperaGX now, which did worse in the other test, so let's... This could be interesting. Here we go. Oh. Okay, that is very concerning. We get a fucking Windows security pop-up. Okay, I will say I cannot recommend that you use OperaGX. That is worrying if that happens. That is not a good thing. And yeah, we have all the other ads and stuff. So, yeah, I'm fairly certain we now, if we didn't have a virus before, I'm fairly certain we have one now. Anyway, let's continue with the test. Bro, I should probably do a virus scan. I'll do one after the test. Okay, this does have view blocks, so theoretically it should do alright at this. I think. Okay. Yeah, uBlock seems to do about alright. So, yeah, it seems fine. Right, what's next? Oh yeah, Tor, we still got Tor. Oh, hello, thank you. Oh, we got DuckDuckGo as well, haven't we? Let's open DuckDuckGo, and then we'll open Tor afterwards, and see how they both perform. That one. DuckDuckGo might do alright, because it does have some... Oh, okay, never mind. I spoke way too soon. Hey, at least it didn't get that big, like, rectangle thing that we got on the other one with the Windows security pop-up. Which one was that? That was OperaGX. Yeah, definitely don't trust OperaGX with your online safety. I have to say. Now this will be interesting how Tor will do. So you need to first of all reconnect to the fucking thing, as you have to do every time. Okay, once you've connected once, it's not too bad. Wait, no, we don't want to search for that. We want to search for... We need to be careful that we don't click on whatever a .onion thing is, because those are very dangerous. Oh, wait. Okay, this is not looking promising. Let me guess, we get just everything. Oh, we get more stuff. We did not get that on any of the others. The thing. Wait, did we? Yeah, we got more stuff than we. We didn't get the pop-up things, but I don't know whether that's because Onion works differently. Either way, we got about the same number of ads as everything else. So that was Tor, I guess. So that's our second test done. I will now be running a virus scan. If you want, you can watch that. Otherwise, you can skip ahead. I'll add the timestamp. So let's do a virus scan. Actually, let's use Brave Nightly to download the scanner, because why not? Right, let's download 64-bit. If we don't get any viruses, we should be fine and don't have to activate this. If we do, we might have a bit of an issue. I think we can use a throwaway email though. We can use temp mail if we need to. So we can always use that to... So actually, in fact, let's open up temp mail, because I'm probably going to need... Oh, I probably also want to run other scanners. Oh, you know what, sure. So it's going to close our browsers now, hopefully, and also detect cookies then. Oh, it got... Okay, so Opera got one. In fact, actually, this is a good part to listen in. I'll probably add a timestamp here. These are the browser cookies that we obtained during the session. So, we have at least one from Opera, which is interesting, because I thought Opera was one of the better... It seemed to do a lot better at our tests than the others. Or, well, it seemed to do about on par with most of the others. Oh. Okay, I had to upload something that's never been seen before to the cloud, which is not that comforting, but I guess we'll just let it run and see what happens. So we get one cookie from Opera. Anyway, I'll probably pause the recording and resume it when it's done. Okay, right, so we're on to the scanning for malware remnants section of the scan. So now it's just seeing whether we have any malware remnants in our files. Usually this takes a bit, so I'm probably going to pause it again and resume in a short while. Okay, right, so we're back on to classifying. We're getting the last few % done. And then it will tell us whether we've got any malware. We don't have any. We do have one tracking cookie though from Opera. So I guess there's that. But that's about it. Apparently we didn't actually get any malware. So I guess that's good. At least they didn't let any malware through. Anyway, continuing with our test. What did we just do? We just did ad blocking. So now we're going to do privacy. So there's a privacy website that I found on my phone. I didn't open on my phone because I didn't want to leak my phone data. But privacy, was it privacy.net? No, it was Cover Your Tracks. Okay, yeah, so we'll open that up in each of the browsers. So if we start with Brave. Here we go. Test our browser. Testing. I don't know whether it's meant to keep reloading. Oh, ad tests indicate that it has a randomized fingerprint and it's blocking invisible trackers and ads, which is good. And we have strong protection against web tracking, which is great. Your fingerprint has been randomized. Although sophisticated adversaries may still be able to track you with some extent, the randomization provides a very strong protection against tracking cookies trying to fingerprint your browser. Okay. Okay, wait, we do have some identifying information, so we're not completely private, but it seems like we're mostly private. So that's that one. So then we can close this and open the next one, Brave Nightly. See how that does. What was it called? Cover your tracks. Let's go back to it. Test this browser. Let it run for a little while. Theoretically this will do a bit better because I enable more settings. I don't know whether it will do any better though. I've not changed it too much. Ah, here we go. Okay, so we get a pop-up that tells us that it wants to track us. So what happens if we click go back? Can it still continue to test, or does it continue, or does it just restart? We might have to eventually allow that if it doesn't let us continue without allowing that. Oh? Yeah, okay, we are going to have to click proceed. I think. Huh? No? How is it worse than normal Brave? Probably, wait. Wait, that's less identifying information though, isn't it? Also, technically, it completely passed this because you could have clicked no and then had it not continue. I will probably want to run Hitman Pro once I've done all these tests though again, because I'm fairly certain this will... Because I'm fairly certain this will definitely leave some cookies on our PC that will try to track us everywhere. Anyway, Chrome time. The browser by Google. Let's see how this does, how this fares. It may be Chromite rather than Chromium. We're not entirely or rather than Chrome. We're not entirely sure. Oh. No blocking ads, no blocking trackers. And it has a unique fingerprint, which means we are not protected against tracking on the web at all. And they have 18.5 bits of identifying information. So there's quite a bit of yeah, that's not ideal. So we're not quite as private as the other ones. Let's try Chromium now. Oh, I forgot we have to search. We have to... I'm so stupid. We have to go Google first, don't we? There we go, google.com. Then we search in there. Then we go to that one and we see what happens. Test your browser. Oh. Partial. Okay, so you have some protection against web tracking, but it has some gaps apparently. So Chromium isn't completely good. They also have quite a bit of identifying information, although we do have a unique fingerprint, which is good apparently. Or is that good, or is that bad? I don't know whether that's good or bad. Either way, we only have partial protection against ads and invisible trackers. So there's that. So that was Chromium. Now it's Firefox's turn. Let's give it a second to load. We're also going to test the other mode. Not now. Also, to be fair, we haven't tested private tabs in either of these. I know that Brave uses Tor for the private tab, so the results on Brave would be fairly similar to Tor if we did this test on it. Okay, but for Firefox, we only have partial protection against ads and trackers. It does have a unique fingerprint though. It says you have some protection. You do have some gaps though. So, about mid I'd say. Right, Edge. This could go very badly, or depending on what Microsoft's done in the past few years, very well maybe. So let's give it a go. Test your browser. Oh wait, we never tested the private mode in Firefox. That's my bad. I'll go back to that in a moment. See if that does any better. No kind of blocking at all. You are not protected against tracking on the web at all if you use Edge. So let's have a look at the private browsing with Firefox and try it again, which for some reason already has our search result from the other browser in it. I don't understand why, but I guess it is what it is. It's probably because it's from the same browser. So it goes purple whenever the thing has to reload, which is interesting. Okay, you do block ads and trackers, and it has a unique fingerprint, so it has a strong protection when you do private browsing. I wonder whether I should test that for Chrome as well. Anyway, let's move on to Opera first. We'll go back to Chrome later and try the I think they did have a private browsing. I'm fairly certain they did, and I guess we could also try it in Brave. We don't need the ad blocking test anymore. We've got that. We've done that already. Let's have a look at how Opera fares in the Cover Your Tracks test. And then we'll have a look at GX. I'm assuming GX won't do that well, because based off of how well it did at blocking ads earlier. It's probably going to do fairly abysmal, but we'll see. Also, you're not protected against tracking by default on Opera. I don't know whether do they have a private browsing thing? It doesn't look like it, unless I can, what's that? That's Advent Time, okay, I don't really care. They don't seem to have any other private modes, so sadly Opera fails that. So Opera fails the privacy test but passes the ad blocking test, I think, because it did block the ads. Sadly it failed the other test though. Wait, also I just realised there's a thing here, privacy protection. Ah! Okay, that might make a difference. We might want to redo the test with that on. Then again, I said originally that we would, okay, we're not protected against, okay, what if we enable these and then redo the test? Test our browser. Go. So we've enabled the blocking ads and trackers thing now, the default one, the one that you can enable by default. We probably need to redo the YouTube test as well, to be honest. We'll do that in a moment. Okay, so when you enable it, you have strong protection, which is good actually. So OperaGX, I guess, passes when you enable the protection fee. Let's have a look whether it still doesn't work with YouTube though, like when you still get ads in YouTube. Okay, Oh? Okay, so you get ads, but it skips through them instantly. So technically you don't get ads. It would still be a slight bit annoying though if you're listening to music and it pauses for a second to do that. So not quite as good as the other options. Honestly, I think Opera did better in that regard. Anyway, moving on to LibreWolf. We are going to have to go back to Chrome and Brave though to do the privacy mode tests. Here we go. Now the thing is, does this have anything to block tracking? Because it has uBlock for ads, but I don't know whether it has anything for tracking. Then again, it was claimed to be a private browser, so I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's about the same as Brave Nightly in the configuration that I had that in. Except for that Brave Nightly would have passed if it would have let us continue on from that stage or something. Anyway, yeah, this is about the same. It's pretty good. Well, they have even less information than Brave Nightly had. Okay, so it's pretty good. Seems pretty private, LibreWolf does. So now Tor. This could be interesting. I don't know how we're gonna do. I assume we just search for it, like in the other tests. We just search for the website and then we'll be able to go. I don't even know whether the website's going to work though. Seems interesting though, when you use... I also don't know why it's in a little window thing. I don't know what exactly that means. But let's see how well Tor does. I would assume, because everyone always says, oh, it's so private. I would assume it would do really well on this, right? And we then got to test Google with like private browsing and Brave with private browsing, because those have options for that. Brave should be somewhat similar to this, so whatever this gets, Brave is probably going to get in the private browsing thing. Strong protection against fingerprint tracking, and it's a non-unique fingerprint. Okay, wow, and it has even less information than the other browsers. Okay, fair enough. Let's have a look at Chrome then with private browsing, because I think there was a private browsing tab, right? You can do that somehow. Incognito, here we go. Okay, let's see how well Google's incognito actually covers your tracks and stuff. Let's see how private we are when we use incognito mode. Okay. Only partial protection still. It does make your fingerprint a lot better though, so I guess it does something. It doesn't do... It's clearly not good enough though. Right, and then Brave has... we don't need to cover your tracks again. We want to open private window. So you see how there's an option for private window with Tor. Oh, it has to connect to the Tor network first. Okay, so it actually uses the Tor network then. That's interesting. So Brave can just use the Tor network. Though it's not in a little container. I don't know what the container thing is that Tor has, but it seems like it claims we're using Tor at the top right. So we probably are when we do this in Brave. Anyway, let's see how this is doing. See how this does. Okay, and randomized fingerprint, which is good. Oh. Okay, and it blocks ads and trackers, so it passes everything, like Brave did normally. So wait. Okay, it does have quite a lot of identifying information though, but it seems to be pretty good. I don't know why it's not as private as Tor, because technically it's using Tor or something, but either way it seems to be very, very good, because the randomized fingerprint sounds like it's a lot better than the others, although what Tor had was, I think, even better than that. Anyway, I guess that's the there's also a non-Tor private window, so I guess we could test that as well. So this is without Tor. Guess we could test that as well. Also, I feel like Brave Nightly also has all these options, but we're not going to test that just because it'll be probably about the same. Also, we saw that it got stuck on the issue where you could tell it to continue or not, and it therefore caused issues. So I think maybe, okay, it's basically the same as using Tor. So who knows? I don't know whether you even need a private window in Brave. I guess if you wanted more privacy than it already had, although it seems to already be completely private, so I don't know why you would need that. Anyway, that was the privacy test. So we are now going to go to Task Manager and get rid of anything that's still running, like DuckDuckGo, which is always still running in the background, which is a little bit annoying, and Edge, because that's also running in the background still. And we're going to start with the resource usage section of our tests. Actually, I feel like it's better if we have that on the left. We can kind of see all the browsers here. We're going to start with Brave, see how much that uses. Just loading up YouTube and Netflix. Interesting, okay, and okay, Brave is using 400 megabytes of RAM, ish 450 it seems. We can mute the video so that we can have a look at how it changes over time. 450, and it gets as high as utilizing 25% of the CPU for it. It seems for a moment. Probably hovering about 7 to 10%. It seems that kind of range. Okay, it does jump higher, so it can be 20. Is it when we hover over it that it's higher? It is. I don't know why that is. Probably because of the bar at the bottom, I would assume. So it jumps to about 20 something percent. Bear in mind we have 8 gigs of RAM on this system, so that's like 2 gigs of RAM. Wait, no. It's a lot less. CPU, sorry. We have, how many cores? We have 4, so that would be like, if it utilized, what, 1 core of your CPU, which is not too bad. Yeah, it seems to be hovering around 20% CPU usage and around 380-ish megabytes. 300, we'll count it as 390, we'll go a little bit higher. Right, so now Brave Nightly with my configuration. I don't know whether I did put on memory saver, but this is using whatever settings I have put on. Okay, CPU usage skyrockets at the start. But how about once we get into the video? Uses quite a lot of memory, to be honest. It uses like 600 megabytes of RAM, which is quite a lot actually. And CPU usage is about the same as normal Brave, maybe a little bit more. But it seems to use double the amount of RAM. Now why that is, I could honestly not tell you. Maybe it's because it's constantly blocking stuff or something, I don't really know. Either way, I guess it uses double the amount of memory as Brave, which is kind of crazy. And CPU is also like 10% more, which is not great. Okay, we'll give it a second to slow down before we open Chrome. Right, Chrome. This is the browser that is notorious for eating up your memory. Well, or at least in memes it is. So let's see how it does. Oh, well, we got fucking ads to watch through first, so I guess we gotta mute those and leave those playing in the background. But hey, it seems like it doesn't use as much RAM as Brave Nightly did. Then again, it hadn't actually loaded the actual video. Now it's on the actual video. So it seems to be pretty decently optimized. It uses a little bit more RAM than Brave does as at a basic level, but no, okay, maybe it uses about the same. I feel like Brave was using like 380, 90-ish, something like that range. This is like 360, 70. So I feel like it's a bit better than Brave. We did get 2 ads though, so yeah, there's that. But to be fair, for what it's doing, it seems to be doing pretty good. It seems to use very little resources, so I guess if you don't really care about your privacy, then I think it did badly in that. Well, anyway, if you don't really care about, oh my gosh, Chromium is okay. It's not using too much actually. To be fair, I thought it said 70%. I was reading the wrong thing. 30% with 70 megabytes, not 70%. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get ads as well. Memory utilization seems to be a little bit more than Chrome for some reason. Yeah, it is a little, at least at the moment it was a little bit more. And CPU utilization was also a bit more, but now it's dropped quite a lot. So it uses like no CPU. I should probably actually have set the resolution and stuff, because what they could be doing is these could just be playing in lower resolutions, and therefore using less memory and CPU. Anyway, it seems like it's using a bit less than Chrome. Let me just double check what the resolution is. 480p, okay, could be better, but it seems to be using less of the CPU and also less memory somehow. Wait, this is Chromium though. Yeah, that's the just the open source equivalent, so I guess that makes sense. Right, now Firefox, which does also have our thing saved, which is good. We will probably also get ads. Yep, we do also get ads. So we gotta wait for those. Okay, it uses quite a lot of memory. Starting off 600 megabytes. To be fair, that could all be ads though. That could be mostly ads. So CPU utilization seems to be about the same as the others, and RAM usage seems to be relatively high. At the moment, it uses quite a lot of RAM. It seems like Firefox actually uses the most RAM out of most of the browsers that we tested. Well, okay, apart from Brave Nightly. Brave Nightly also uses similar amount. I don't know whether that reflects better privacy or something, or what exactly that means, but yeah. And you did our privacy test earlier, so when I'm looking back through the footage, I can have a look at that and see what that was about. But yeah, we're using 680 megs of RAM-ish, and like, okay, to be fair, the CPU utilization is quite, actually no, it's quite a lot. Like 20 to 30%. It does drop to like, when we hover off the window, it drops to like 12 though. But I assume that's because we're not hovering over the window then. Anyway, that's Firefox done. Let's have a look at Edge now. The default built-in browser that Bill Gates recommends that everyone uses. Could just paste in the, yeah, I'm going to paste in the link. Ad number 1. Oh, that's a little bit of memory usage. That is a little bit of memory usage for 700 and something megs. Quite a lot. Okay, wait, that was without us hovering over the video as well. Hovering over it on others seemed to... Oh, it's also running in efficiency mode. But even then, the memory usage is still incredibly high. And the CPU usage is not too bad, to be fair, but it could be better. It seems to also, that when we're on Edge, it seems to get rid of the hovering stuff after a moment to save your CPU a bit, which is interesting. It wouldn't really affect you in day-to-day usage, but it's just interesting to see. Memory's also gradually lowering itself. I don't know why it does that, but I guess it does. So I guess it's more like 500 megabytes. Maybe it would get better over time. I don't know why it does that though. Anyway, that's memory usage of Edge and CPU usage, which actually seems, well, the memory usage is very high, but the CPU usage doesn't seem too bad. Let's paste in our link on Opera. Give it a go. Okay, we're going to mute it. So memory is very, very high. CPU is also quite high, so not the most lightweight browser. Oh, it does have the thing where it automatically gets rid of the things though, like Edge had. Although when you're hovering over it, CPU usage does seem to be quite high. And memory usage is crazy, 800 megabytes for this. What quality is it? Is it the same? It's the same quality. Okay. Yes, this seems to be incredibly memory intensive. So if you want to use this, just bear in mind that you probably want to make sure that you have a system with a lot of memory, or that you don't open too many tabs. We could also do that. We could see how many tabs we can have open on each of them before they crash. We'll do that afterwards. But yeah, memory and CPU test. CPU is looking about the same as the others. Memory is looking quite high, like high 700s, like in the 800s sometimes. Started off as 800. I know whether there's a reason for that or... Anyway, let's close that. Move on to the next browser, OperaGX. Let's see. This is built for gamers, so you would hope that it uses less memory. So ideally when you're gaming, you don't want all your RAM to be used up by your browser. You want to have as much as you can free for your... Oh, okay. Yeah, we had the automatic ad blocking, which used quite a lot of memory actually. 900 megabytes. And 40% of your CPU. 50%. Just to clarify, yeah, we're on the same resolution. 950-ish. Okay, it's getting lower. There might be a chance that it's not too high. Then again, 900 megabytes. That's almost a gigabyte with one fucking tab open. Why is it such high memory and CPU utilization? I can honestly not tell you. Either way, this is clearly very badly optimized, so don't use this for watching videos. It's in the 800s to 900s. It's crazy intensive. So don't use that if you game. Even though it looks cool, the amount of memory that it's using, you'd probably want that for your games, so just don't use it. Do we have to manually... I think we do have to manually click that, don't we? Okay, play. Volume off. Here we go. Okay, to be fair, this private browser seems to use about... Okay, no, it is a bit less. Starting off, it's 100 megabytes less. CPU usage is about the same, though. Oh wow. Wait, the memory usage has gone over a gigabyte. Is it due to how much of the video it's pre-caching, or is it just from usage? I mean, it uses quite a lot. Then again, it shouldn't need to pre-cache so much. My internet's quite decent. Oh, it's also running it in 1080p. Hold on. Everything else is in 480. Let's drop it down to that. Otherwise, it's an unfair test. We should probably actually do another test where we run everything in 1080. I'll probably just show the results. That I probably won't show that on camera because I feel like showing it. But yeah, when we do drop it to 480, which is what all the other browsers were running it in, it seems about the same as the others. Except for the few that had very, very good memory usage. Right, let's have a look at the Onion browser, see how well that does memory usage wise. Alright, YouTube didn't want to work last time, did it? It could be that as soon as we load it in, it doesn't want to work. Oh no, it looks like it's gonna work and show us an ad. Okay, it is working and showing us an ad. In some other language, which is I guess good. It doesn't know where we are. Clearly it thinks we're in, who knows, wherever SE is, Sweden or something. Anyway, here we go. Let's just double check that the quality is right. Yeah. Okay, it's using, don't know why it's below the top one. Oh, it's running in efficiency mode. Okay. Apparently. Seems like it uses upper end of memory, like the other private browsers kind of did, some of them. But it's not too bad. Like 700 megabytes is not bad at all, I think. Well, after having seen what the others use, 700 seems about alright. The ones that used 300 were probably like really, really good. Anyway, it looks like we're hovering in the 650 to 700 range, which is, I guess, alright for well, yeah, for what that is. Theoretically, Brave might have similar performance if we opened it in that. Then again, the base one I feel like did alright. What did the base? Probably gonna cut this out because I've already tested Brave, but I just want to see. Oh yeah, it was way lower. I don't understand why or how, but it's way lower than most of the others. Is there anything else left? Oh yeah, AI. So the final test is AI. So we will probably not need Task Manager for this because we're just running the AIs in each browser. So in Brave, you have something called Theo. Now I'm going to need a prompt to ask it. But basically it can be on the side and it can take context from a Wikipedia page or, well, whatever page you're on and respond based on that. Or you can give it a prompt in the URL thing and it answers that, basically. So, I'm going to copy this prompt so that I can paste it into them. Here we go. So there's our hello world script. Took about, I don't know how many seconds, but it took a short moment. It did use Claude, so it does tell us that. Let's have a look at Brave Nightly. What happens with that one when we do it? The same thing. Probably about the same, I would expect, because should be using the exact same model, theoretically. Yeah, same thing. Took a little bit longer for some reason, but oh well. Let's have a look at Google. I think Google has Gemini built in. Let's see if I can figure out how to get to it. How do I... Oh, AI mode. There we go. Okay, it gives us quite a lot more. It does explain it to us, which is in a way better. then again, we didn't ask it to explain it to us, we just asked it to make it. So I guess if you're trying to learn it, it's a little bit better. Also, it tells us how to run it. I don't know whether, I think Brave did tell us how to run it. It showed us, yeah, this command as well. Don't think it showed us the execute command though at the end, unless I'm mistaken, I might be. The Google does include the whole explanation and a step-by-step of how to run it, telling you that you need to save it and that. So if you don't know much about computers, I guess that's a bit better. Right, Chromium, does this have any AI? My guess is no. And it also doesn't want to go to... Oh yeah, we have to go to Google first, don't we? And then we can... Oh well, it'll be the same as the other one, won't it? Oh no, it's actually worse. Just gives you the top results for it. It doesn't actually give you any response. So I think that did the worst so far. Google Chrome probably did like... Well, actually it depends on your use case. I'll let you guys decide which one's good and which one's not good. Does Firefox have an AI? AI mode, it does. It uses Google though. So... okay, it's shorter response than the other Google one for some reason. It does give us basically the same information. It displays it in like a more compact way though, so I guess that's good. So I'd say Firefox is pretty good in terms of that. Edge, right, let's have a look at Edge. We do have Copilot. Can we ask Copilot stuff that we've entered in there? We can. Okay. About the same as Gemini, but it's got more emojis and stuff. You can tell it's made by AI. It explains some stuff as well, and it tells you how to compile and run it. So I'd say about the same as Google and Firefox-ish. I see Opera. I don't know whether this had an AI built in. Guess we'll find out. I'm assuming it does. I just don't know where it would be. So it might take me a second to figure out. Is that an AI? That is the AI, I think. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so how does the okay, so it's more like Brave. So Opera is more like Brave, that it gives you the output and says, here's the thing that you want. Let me know if you want anything else related to it. So it gives you just the output you want and none of the extra info, which some people could see as better, some people could see as worse. Right, now OperaGX, which I assume has something similar. Oh, it has the exact same thing, doesn't it? Yep, it has the exact same thing, just reskinned. And it seems to take a year longer to respond for some reason, although it does explain it. Okay, so it's more like Google and what was the other one? Firefox. It's more like those. Right, let's see if LibreWolf has AI now. It probably doesn't. I'm assuming Tor doesn't either. DuckAI, it does have an AI. Which means DuckDuckGo probably also has an AI. Send. It looks a bit like ChatGPT though. Yeah, but it also gives you an explanation, the code and how to run it, which is interesting. DuckDuckGo probably will do something similar, which I think I actually didn't include DuckDuckGo in some of these tests. If I didn't include it in resource usage, for example, we could have a look at that. It uses quite a lot by default, it seems. Also, it had multiple tabs, usually. Let's have a look at DuckDuckGo's AI. By the way, how private they are, I can't determine that because I'm not entirely sure which companies they communicate with and what they send it to. But it seems like it gives about the same response as the others do. DuckDuckGo's AI thing, which was also being used in OperaGX. Wait, which one was it where it was being used in? LiberWolf, apparently, I guess. I don't know whether Tor has AI. I very much doubt it would do. Do they have AI built in? you can do Duck AI as well, like you can with the others. Agree. Send. And it works. Okay, cool. And it does the explanation as well. So it's more like Google Chrome and Firefox. It's more like they did, and well, Opera did something similar. OperaGX did something similar because it's the same thing basically. When Opera was more like Brave, and then OperaGX was more like the others. Anyway, that's the AI test. I think that's about it. Is there anything that I'm missing? DuckDuckGo I didn't do the performance test on yet, so we might want to do that. Okay, so what if we use their Duck player? That's a thing that they've made. Make sure the quality is correct. Okay, so it is quite resource intensive if you use their thing. Oh wait, we want to mute it. It's my bad. It's, yeah, it uses a little bit on the high end for 480p. What if we just use normal YouTube? Oh my gosh, okay, we actually could not care any less. Okay, here we go. Okay, it has now got over 1 GB just on an ad video, which is a little bit concerning. I think it's probably because it's trying to load it in a higher quality, I don't know why. Can we skip this? Oh, we can. Okay, let's change the quality straight away to 480, because at the moment it's 720. Even though apparently that doesn't make much of a difference, it's still at 1.2 gigs. Which is an awful lot for just one video running. Way more than the others, actually. So, to be honest, I don't think we needed to test DuckDuckGo. It seems to be very bad for memory usage. Oh well. So I think that was our kind of test video of different browsers. I think they're all pretty decent, to be honest. Whatever browser you use, it's like your choice anyway, so I guess whichever one you use is fine. But I think definitely some were more private than others, and some also use more resources than others. My configuration actually uses quite a lot. I don't know why, I don't know what it's doing to do that. I assume because of how it's communicating with the server, it might need to use protocols that are more secure and that use more stuff. I don't really know. It seemed to do worse on the privacy test if I allowed it to continue. So I'm not entirely sure about that. But I think out of what we learned from this, I think Brave and Firefox are probably the best ones. Well, actually no, Tor's probably the best one, but that's also kind of correlated to the dark web, so maybe don't use that one. After that, I think LibreWolf was alright. It didn't have too much ad and tracking blocking. No, it did. It had uBlock, didn't it? But I think probably the best ones would have to be probably Brave and Firefox. Opera was pretty decent as well. I think it had some ad blocking, but it wasn't very private. If I remember from the privacy test, I'll have to look back through it and then I'll give you my actual opinion. Okay, mic's on. Right. So I wanted to give you guys an update on my ratings. So actually, let me just bring the rating tab into the thing. In a second, let me just get rid of some stuff. Or actually, you know what? We'll keep it in. So let me just show the screen. All right. Here we go. So we have our results here in this table here. And so the performance, I've taken 1 point off per 200 megs used. I will have to calculate this, so give me a moment to do that. Oh, also I just realised, basically the thing behind the AI that says PC, it's personal choice. They all had AI. The AI was all roughly the same, so it literally just depends on which one you'd prefer to use. Right, so I just realised I've not fully tested DuckDuckGo yet, so for that purpose I'm going to exclude it from the results for the moment, until I retest it at some point. But from our results that we got so far, it seems like the best two to use well, the best three are Brave, Brave Nightly, and LibreWolf, which actually, to be honest, LibreWolf did pretty well, with Tor coming in like, what is that, for second, I guess, because all of them are technically joint first. With it lacking ad protection, but having all the privacy and alright performance. And then fourth, it seems like, is Opera, with a rating of 7 out of 30, with excellent ad blocking, but no privacy whatsoever, and terrible performance. And then after that, it looks like we have Chromium and OperaGX in a tie. So Chromium lacks ad blocking, has some privacy but not the best. Performance is pretty good though, and OperaGX seems to have. I think the thing is, when you enable this like ad blocking settings, it probably does a lot better. So I guess it could score higher. It's probably more like 10 out of 30 now that I think about it. But the fact that on the default settings it lets like that kind of ads through so badly that like you get a Windows security pop-up, that's quite bad. So I think that's why it got this low rating, and I think it's fair to give it that low rating. Also, its performance was not great at all, so I would not recommend using it. And then, what are we up to? Probably like 5th or something, I think, yeah. We have Firefox with a rating of 3, which has a tiny bit of ad blocking, but is only half of the way there in privacy, it seems, and its performance is alright. It's about comparable to most of the others. And then we have, what is it, 5th or 6th now? I don't know, probably 5th or something. Would be Chrome with a rating of 2 out of 30, because its ad protection is very low, and its privacy, if you use the private mode, it gets some points, but again it's a low rating, and it loses. To be fair, its performance is very good. That's one thing I'll give to it. Its performance is good. As in privacy though, it doesn't really have anything in the sense of that. Anyway, and then the lowest rating has to go to Edge with yeah, basically nothing for ads, nothing for privacy, and medium performance. Like it's less than some of the more private browsers, but it's more than, for example, Base Brave or like Chrome or Chromium. It's more than those, so its performance is about mid, and it got a really low score on everything else, so I have to give it a score of -1, sadly. There's probably make like a tier list thingy or something, but I can't be bothered to do that. Someone else can make that. It's not my job. I'm gonna have to retest DuckDuckGo. It might do well. I'll show you guys in another recording when I've done that. Okay, so update. After doing all those tests, I ran a scan with Hitman Pro, and it seems like we got tracking cookies with Firefox, Chrome, Chromium, and Opera. The others don't seem to have any, so somehow OperaGX did better. Firefox did good, which is not really a surprise. OperaGX somehow did better than Opera, not entirely sure how that works, and LibreWolf did pretty good, Onion did pretty good, DuckDuckGo seems to have done pretty good, so guess those were all pretty good options, because the others gave us tracking cookies, which means that something got through. Okay. Windows Defender be like. Oh yeah, I should probably run Hitman Pro afterwards to see whether we do get any tracking cookies from it. Because that will be something to look at. Right, so doing the test on DuckDuckGo. be interesting to see the result of this. Oh, fucking Opera opened in the background as well. Love that. Hello, can you close? We don't need you. Hello. Wait, hello. Hello. And OperaGX as well, of course. Thank you for all opening in the background. Okay, wait, so it seems to be able to block tracking ads and invisible trackers, but it doesn't seem to be able to protect us from fingerprinting. So in a second I'll go over to the notepad and change the thing. I'll resume recording when I'm on that. Right, so we're back in the notepad, and for privacy it got a... Wait, there were 2 greens, which means we can add 2 times 3, which is 6. 6 out of 10. It doesn't have any other modes, so we'll... can't remember how I did this with the others. We're gonna go for... Well, with... Okay, we'll give it like... Wait, we could double that. 18 out of 20. Wait, no, 12 out of 20. Sorry, my bad. I guess we should probably do that with the others as well. So I guess that would probably change things a little bit. So in a second I'll have the updated scores. Okay, well that doesn't need changing, does it? That is already the correct thing. Okay, cool, so that's our updated thing. We haven't actually calculated scores yet, so give me a second to do that. So I just updated the scores to reflect doubling the values if they don't have a second browser mode. Actually, I just realised Brave does have one, so I could actually give that 1 extra point because the private modes were slightly more private than the normal one, so we can give it 1 extra point for those. So basically both the Braves come in first, and then LibreWolf comes in second, with Tor in third, and then Chromium in fourth, it seems. Oh no, DuckDuckGo in fourth, then Chromium in fifth, then OperaGX and Firefox in sixth, then Opera in seventh, then Chrome in eighth, and finally Edge in ninth. Hope you all enjoyed watching that. It was quite a long one. Hopefully you skipped ahead and didn't watch the whole thing, and hope you all have a nice evening. Okay, right, so update on the tracking cookie situation. DuckDuckGo didn't leave any, so there's that.